Hello, hello. Okay. Happy Easter, everybody. So first, you're probably wondering, what am I doing here? What's this lighting? I don't know. Figuring it out together. I don't know if it changes when I move or not. Basically, because it's Easter, I forgot to alter my recording schedule. I usually stream at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. It is 1:15 Pacific time on Sunday, so I'm streaming a lot earlier. And the reason is because I have some family plans that are starting soon and most likely will not be over in time for me to stream. And normally I would try and find a way to just stream where I'm at, but I think it's just going to be too distracting and there's not going to be a good space that would be like, good for streaming and setting up and all of that. So basically, I decided to show you a little bit of how I get ready for Easter. This is not a getting dressed with me, get ready with me video or stream. It's mostly just to show you, like I'm gonna pack some eggs for the kids so they can do an Easter egg hunt. My niece and nephew and then my baby cousins are going to be there, so I'll show you what I do for that. And I'm also making some deviled eggs, which I thought was fitting for Easter because Easter eggs is a common theme with the holiday, but also with the egg shortage and all of that. Plus I do like obviously cooking. I've taught cooking for a very long time. So this kind of gives me a chance to get back into a demo sort of session, although I don't think I'm going to demo. I think I'm just going to show you, I think I'm just going to do it with you watching. And I already have some of my stuff out. I realized that I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Not a bunch, but there's some things that I didn't do prep-wise. So I'll get into that in a little bit. So I'm going to do the eggs first, and then I'm going to do the real eggs first, the deviled eggs, and then I'm going to make the candy eggs. I'm going to stuff these while these eggs, the deviled eggs, are getting cold in the fridge or freezer. And then in between, you'll see, this is how I normally operate when I'm at home. I will have like 3 or 4 things going because I'll need to take a break from one thing. And if I just sit down and look at my phone, then that usually traps me in my phone and I don't end up doing anything. I end up wasting that time, or it even takes away from the time where I was going to keep going. So if I have like a backup thing to do that's also productive, like I said, I'm going to make these eggs while I'm making the deviled eggs, or other way around. Then if something happens while I'm making the deviled eggs, I can move over to here. I already boiled the eggs, and so that was a big part of what I was doing. While the eggs were boiling, I was putting the dishes away, pulling out the stuff that I would need for the ingredients, and then I also did my handstand check for TikTok. I recorded it, and basically the way I make those on my TikTok, if you've seen them, I started it up on my TikTok. 1 handstand a day, recorded wise, to just kind of track my progress. But yeah, so I try to just do like no more than 5 minutes because I don't want it to be like a rehearsed and practiced thing. Although that's the whole point, is to show where I've grown. I think it's helpful to show where I am in like a resting point versus to where I am when I'm like right in the middle of like my prime for that day or something. I don't think that's a fair judge. You look at it back at it later and you're like, wow, I was really good that day, and it's like, no, I was just doing some different method or something that I need to figure out there. Anyways, the point is, I recorded that, and then while I was recording that, I thought to myself, dang, I am supposed to stream. And then I realized, look, I'm recording myself doing my handstand in this same space. If you look on my TikTok, I will say it again. If you look at my TikTok, I am recording on this wall right here, my handstand, every day. And so I actually put my phone right here, like where the ice maker is on the freezer. You know, a little like push your cup up against it and it'll drop the ice in. I put my phone right there instead of a cup. And it doesn't have a sensor, like you have to like push it so it's safe and it'll just record from that angle. And I feel like that's a good way for me to make sure that I always have about the same angle in my videos, because I feel like that's helpful when you do like a TikTok to have like a common theme or something, so your videos kind of look like they're part together in some way. I don't know, that's how I like to do stuff. I like everything to look really cohesive in my life, even though this isn't right now. So like I said, it is now 1:20, so I was talking for 5 minutes just now, and I'm trying to decide if I should have a Red Bull or a coffee. Honestly, I just want to drink a ton of orange juice. I already drank 2 glasses of orange juice, and I feel like I have to like prevent myself from drinking an entire half gallon, because I can do that, and it's not soda. You know, you're not supposed to have like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you could substitute soda for something like a juice, but I feel like because oranges, I only do 100% natural orange juice. I don't do concentrate. So it's like if you've ever actually made orange juice, it takes a lot of oranges. It takes a lot of oranges to make orange juice, and so I always just feel like I'm being super, I don't know, gluttonous if I drink a ton of orange juice in one day. Even if I'm like at a resort or something and I have like fresh orange juice. The only time I haven't felt that way is when I was in Australia, because every juice was pressed juice, and so I didn't have to stick to just orange juice. There was a bunch of other kinds. I could like go back and forth. Anyways, I need to go upstairs and grab my glasses because I'm squinting a little bit, and I don't want that to make me look like I'm like in my videos. I might turn on some more lights in here, and then yeah, I don't know about music, because you know how that is, being able to not get copywritten strike. Yeah. So let me go grab my glasses and then I'll get started. And man, I don't want to leave you with like completely no sound at all. That would be weird. Let's see, what can I do sound wise?
I'm probably the only person
Oh my gosh, this commercial gets on my nerves. It's completely AI. Anyways, I'm not gonna go there. I don't know what this is, but okay, I'm sorry. I could do it if it didn't have lyrics, but I'm not gonna leave you with some lyrics. I don't know what's coming up next. I really like that mix that I found, with like the really cool drone footage. I don't remember what it was, but it was really good. Okay, this is sounds okay. This is crazy because I'm gonna go upstairs and it's gonna take me like a minute, and it'll take me like 10 minutes to find a song. Alright, I'll be right back. Let's see if I can make the lighting a little bit better in here. Does this help? I'm not sure. No. I was gonna say it sure doesn't hurt, but I actually don't know. I feel like this might be a little bit brighter. So I'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this down a little bit so I don't feel like I'm yelling over it. But it'll still be on. And I don't know what it'll play next. So probably commercials. That's what it's looking like here. Yeah, gonna be a lot of commercials. Okay, see, I'm already getting caught up in looking at the list again. Let me just let it play. I just have to keep an eye out for commercials on here. Okay.
You're also sharing the bathroom.
Okay, so like I was saying, I am doing this stream today because I have some family plans later on during the time where I normally would stream. So I'm streaming pretty early today. And since I'm streaming early, I actually am just going to stream a little bit of me getting ready for the family. It's basically a family barbecue that I'm getting ready for. I'm making Easter eggs, like for the Easter egg hunt for my cousins and nephews and nieces and all that. And then I'm going to make deviled eggs because that's a, you know, general family barbecue thing. And I feel like it's like, you know, Easter eggs, all of that kind of go together. So yeah, that's my plan. Also, I'll probably be bouncing between the wall and here, just so I can do a little bit of handstand practice. And you'll be able to see kind of what I do when I'm practicing, just spur of the moment and not like dedicating time to it. Yeah, so let me go ahead and I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna grab the eggs. And then I'm gonna make sure I have everything out so that way I can stay over here and not have to like walk back and forth. And if you are someone that cooks a lot or study cooking in more ways, I guess, then this is called your mise en place. It gets you ready. Make sure you have everything. I'm not using tuna. I don't know why this is here. Okay, so I need the eggs. Okay. I also, so I'm going to show you for real how I do this. I think this will be okay. So I'd like to get like a little bag. Usually I use like a grocery bag, and hopefully this is big enough. I'm just going to use the grocery bag like I normally do. This one might be too small. I don't want to end up having to use two. So I'm going to grab a grocery bag like I normally do. And this is going to be something that I use to collect the eggshells with. So I like to kind of, you know, when you like travel and all you have is a bag and you like can use that bag for a whole bunch of stuff. That's basically what I use bags for. So for the eggs, I tried to make a smaller bowl out of the bag. So then that way when I'm done throwing all the eggshells in, I can just lift it up and throw the whole thing in the trash instead of having to like ball it up or like clean it out of the sink or like wipe it off the counter and all of that. So the main thing I do is I just make sure that the handles are facing out so I can grab them at the very end. So I just go around and I kind of fold it like this until it kind of builds up some structure around the outsides. I'll do a little bit more. Okay, so now if you see, it's basically like a little bowl, and I can put the shells in there, and then when I'm done I can roll it up and the handles will be there. So I'm gonna grab this now. These are my eggs in here. I think I made like 15 eggs or something like that. And so I'm gonna crack them. I'm gonna put them back in here because I'm gonna rinse them off one more time before I cut them and place them. So I like to just do one at a time, just kind of crack around. Honestly, don't really have any tricks when it comes to peeling eggs. I know that there's like some tricks people have. They see them or maybe they've tried them, but I feel like every time I boil eggs, it's different. Like, you know, ideally, like what I'm doing right now, you would be able to just peel it off like a thicker layer of the shell, right? But sometimes I do the same thing and that doesn't happen. And I'm like, I did it last time, why isn't it peeling the way it's supposed to? So the best way I found to do it is to leave your eggs submerged in the water. And then that gives your eggs a chance to kind of catch the fluid, catch the water along the sides. Because if you're just trying to peel off like the skin or that layer, I should know what it's called. But if you're just trying to peel it off and your hands are dry and that layer is dry, then we're kind of like giving it an easy way to tear. You know, just like anything else, if you like lube it up, it reduces the chance of it like ripping or like scratching. So yeah, that's why I like to keep it in the water. And yeah, as you can see right now, this method is working. I am trying to go slower than usual because I'm obviously making them for other people. So you want them to look, at least, you know, ideally when you make stuff for other people, you want it to look like as best as it can. If I was just making these for myself, which I do, then I wouldn't really care if they were like perfect or if there was like a dent or something from like pulling the shell too hard, you know. So it just depends like how much you care. And obviously like there's no reason to go super fast. Like I guess if you're in like a hurry and this is like, see, I just did it to this one. I guess if you're like in a hurry and this is like, you know, the only thing you could make at that time, which, you know, honestly, this isn't hard to make in a hurry. The only problem is they won't be cold. But if you just need to like have something made and then you can like grab it later, then yeah, these are actually, they don't take that long. Less than 30 minutes to make these. You only need like maybe 15 minutes for the eggs to boil. And then, you know, the rest is just assembling, mixing. I guess. That's how I feel, I don't know. When I start thinking about it, I'm like, is that hard? Is that a lot of steps? We're gonna find out. But yeah, the music stopped. Oh, because, you know, I put it on mute. Is that commercials on? Ugh. I need to stop. So it is okay if I touch these things with my phone hand, just because I'm gonna rinse them again. But if I was going to just cut them and go straight into the bowl, then I wouldn't want to touch my phone and stuff, cause that's nasty. That's nasty. But yeah, the sound went off, and then I tried to turn the volume up, and I tried to open up my camera. So here we are with the silence. Actually, I feel like you can probably hear the street. That was a bus that just went by. Which honestly, I've never lived on a bus route before. I live on a bus route right now. I've never lived on one before, and I kind of like it's got its benefits, but I think it's kind of nice because I feel like when you live on a bus route, that usually means you're in like a pretty walkable area in some way, right? Because like, where's the bus gonna drop you off at? No, the bus is gonna be like, why am I going all the way over here? So yeah, I can like hop on the bus that's by my house and it'll take me straight to the beach. There's another one, same bus, like same stop, going in the opposite direction. If I take that one, it will take me to something called the light rail, which is basically this train that goes from the airport into the city. So I can take one bus to get to the light rail, and then the light rail straight to the airport. And I think it costs like $6 altogether. So keep that in mind. Oh my gosh, okay, this is a throwaway egg. See, this is what I mean. This is like Frankenstein egg that like kept trying to hold on. Okay, I've got one more egg to peel. So out of all of the eggs, one of them is not gonna make it, honestly. It looks like it. I don't want to talk bad about it, but yeah. So I am, I'm gonna say that the rest of the eggs are doable. Most of them are damn near perfect, so I'm not gonna complain. Okay, yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try and like shake the eggshells out, and I'm doing like the big chunks because they're easier to grab right away. But since I'm gonna use this same pot to strain and wash them, there's gonna be more left at the bottom. So I'll come back over and pour the rest into the bag. And then I also have to grab my egg container. I'm that deviled egg person that has like their own container. So this is the one I'm going to be using. So I need a knife so that I can slice the egg. I'm going to put the yolk in the bowl and then the sliced egg in the tray. And that'll be the next step. Alright, so that's the rest of the eggshells. Ooh. Alright. I just did something a little bit different than I normally do, but I think it's because I'm on camera. Okay, so knife, kniff, kniff, kniff. And if you can't tell, this is why it's important to grab everything you need in the very beginning, because now I'm having to walk back and forth, and that takes up a lot of time. And now it's been 30 minutes since I started, and it should have taken me 30 minutes to do the whole thing. So Yeah, so basically all I'm doing is I'm cutting the egg in half, and I cut long ways. It really just depends on how you want to cut them, but also pay attention to whatever container you're using, because this one that I have is specifically for eggs that are cut long ways. So if I were to use like a different container and I cut them the other way, it might work, or you might have to do it this way. I don't know if you were to cut these the opposite way, if they would stay or not. I'll do that experiment. I'll try that with the ugly egg. The ugly egg, I'm so sorry. Let's see, does this work? It stays. It just doesn't look like, I feel like if it moves around a lot, yeah, it's like very jiggly. So, what are your plans for the week? This is so strange to be doing this. Everything is different right now. Different time, different location, different content. All today is literally the Easter surprise. Everything about this stream should feel like a surprise. If you've been here. If you've not been here before, and this is your first time seeing me, I stream usually health and fitness content. But in my opinion, health and fitness is about all aspects of your life, not just the physical. So cooking food is definitely related to health, and also socializing is part of health too. Social health is necessary. Okay, so basically the eggs are cut. I've got all of my little yolks in the bowl. I'm gonna grab a little whisk. Yeah. Okay, so how do I do this? First of all, everybody has their own method. I've used several methods. It really just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I'm not gonna lie. I never use measurements. I have an idea of how much I use, but because I always make different amounts, I don't really know. I actually just lucked out. If you see, I got the exact amount of eggs as there are slots, minus the ugly one, which is crazy. The only one was ugly. But I didn't count them, and I thought, I would just make as much as I felt like, and literally it's exactly one container's worth. But yeah, so I say that's because sometimes I take the yolk like I have right now, and I use an emulsifier for everything to make it like nice and smooth and like creamy. And some people like that texture, like it being like really whipped. I feel like that's probably the more expensive way to do a deviled egg, obviously, because you have to have an emulsifier, and most people, wouldn't have that unless they did a lot in the kitchen to begin with. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically like a tiny little handheld blender, and it whips things. So, or like, finely mixes them with a blade, so that you can make it look, very whipped, or in some cases just chopped up. I use it for like tomatoes when I'm making tomato sauce. But yeah, I am using a tiny little whisk right now, which is crazy. Like, I have like full size everything, but I always want to grab the mini stuff. Like, something about it being mini, I just like it more. But yeah, so basically I have the yolk in here. I feel like when it's mini, less of it gets stuck too. Don't let me promote minis, honestly. I don't know that it's good. It just feels nice to me. But I get it broke down enough so that I can actually sprinkle in like salt and pepper, and I know it's mixed a lot versus to there being like large chunks and things that don't disperse enough. So let me scoop this over. I'm gonna scoop this over. Now, how much salt and pepper do I use? So this is salt and pepper. I just turn it to go from one to the other. So right now I'm doing pepper. I know a lot of people say they don't like pepper, but I feel like pepper is one of those things where people don't really notice that it's there because it's just always in everything. But if it's like a strong amount of pepper, then they're like, oh, that was too much. Okay, so what I just did, because I kind of like the taste of pepper, and I also feel like deviled eggs don't have like a ton of flavor because it's just egg, and you know. So basically, I feel like this is going to be one of the only ways that it gets fully seasoned. Everything else is just sort of, I mean, I guess there's more than one. Anyways, you'll see. So I like to cover the entire top layer, so that way when I make something big or small, I kind of still know like the top layer. If I was using like a really small like container that was like a cylinder, that method wouldn't work. But obviously this is a bowl, and it's not like a pan, right? So just depends on how much. You can always add more later. That's another thing. I always remind people that you don't have to add it all at once. Okay, this is mustard, ground mustard. And again, I'm just doing like a couple, I don't know, because it's also the same color as the yolk. So I can't really tell how much I put in there. But this is like a mustard, which is different than just using the standard mustard, which we'll also use as well. But now I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of like mix again a little bit more. Like I said, just make sure everything's like evenly dispersed. I forgot to add salt. So salt is on this side. For me, like I said, this is like one and then the other. Okay, that was actually a lot of salt. I probably won't need to add any more salt to this at all. This is something I do a lot when I'm cooking, is because I know about how much I use, I'll start off like heavy-handed because I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna need more than that. And then when I go to taste it, I'm like, oh, I should have waited to add the extra. So I have to remember that when it comes to salt, because the last time this happened, I felt like I should have paused on the salt. Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna put a little bit of paprika in, just a small amount. I know some people like to put it on the top of the egg too, which I will do. So there's no reason for me to just like go ham with it right now. Okay, so now I'm at the point where there's no more dry things, and this is getting a little bit too hard to mix with. So I know I'm gonna need this again later. I'm gonna put it over here. I'll probably need this again later, so I'm gonna put that over here. I'm done with this one. I'm gonna add a little bit of mustard, real mustard. How do I do this? I honestly can't really describe it. I guess if I had 15 eggs and I cut them in half, about 2 tablespoons. Tablespoon and a half. So this next one is, I feel like what sets the deviled eggs apart is like the special ingredients that you use it or people might not use. I feel like mustard and like salt, pepper, paprika are like pretty common. But then the dill, I like to use dill in mine because I feel like it's, I don't know, and maybe is that a common thing that people have always had? Because I feel like I've had deviled eggs that don't have dill, and I'm like, so this isn't a thing. Because I know they definitely have them at, you know what, I don't even know if I can use this. No, I can't. They definitely have them at like Safeway and stuff, like regular grocery stores. They don't put dill inside. I know this for a fact. I'm just trying to see if I'm gonna need more, because once I'm done with this dill, I'm gonna need the spoon to mix. So now I'm really done. I'm really done with it. I'm throwing this ranch away. I actually use mayonnaise only. I bought new mayonnaise literally like 2 days ago, and I had another mayonnaise. It was only like, here's like a third of the container left, and I feel bad saying this, but because this one was so much better, because it has a little squeezer, and I didn't want to take up my refrigerator with 2 of them, I threw the other one away. And so now I have to use my new mayonnaise in the cool squeezer for my deviled eggs, even though I already had mayonnaise. So I'm gonna end up running out of this one sooner. And this is like the dumbest thing to talk about right now, so let's just stop. Okay, so just now I'm starting off with, that's about 3 tablespoons. So I had about a tablespoon and a half of mustard and about 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise in here. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. I'm going to give it a little taste test right now. I can tell I'm gonna need more mayonnaise, but as far as consistency goes, like I think I said, like sometimes I'll use the emulsifier to make it like really smooth. I feel like this time it's already pretty smooth. So I might use the emulsifier just to show you if you are, curious, I guess. But right now it doesn't look like I'm gonna need it. Okay. Yeah, more mayonnaise. I also kind of feel like I should put some lemon in there. I pulled it out. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like everything gets enhanced a little bit when you add a little bit of like lemon, a little bit of lime, or like a little pinch of cinnamon, or what's the other one you can add? There's lemon, lime, cinnamon. There's another one. But like basically the aromatics of the food when you add in those things gets like up the notch. It goes up a notch. I'm sure this is not good ASMR. I can handle so many annoying sounds. Not bad. Not bad. So it gets to the point too when you're making deviled eggs, like you have to think about how they're going to look in the end. Some people are gonna add like a whole bunch of extra stuff on top, like bacon or like other like garnishes and stuff, and so you don't really need to fill the egg up past half full, or just level. But if you're only doing just the filling and nothing else, then you usually want to have it like a little bit higher so it doesn't look like you just like scrape the top. Like it's supposed to just be a little bit overfilled. And so I have to pay attention to that too, because obviously if you just use the yolk you already started with, it's just going to put you right back at where you were, except for less because you've like smeared it around. So I added like at least 4 or 5 tablespoons of a substance, like the mustard, the mayonnaise, the relish. So that's enough to kind of like increase the capacity. But at the same time, if I run out, if I get to like the last 3 and I don't have any left, I basically have to either throw those 3 away and then risk having it look like something's missing or I ate some on the way over, or I'm gonna have to try and take a little bit out of each and fill those 3. So I always like to have more than I need, and I want it to be like visibly more than I need. And sometimes that does mean like sacrificing a little bit of the flavor in order to make sure you have filling. Again, it just depends. Like if you have like you're looking at it, you're like, okay, this will fill it. Like this is what I have right now. So I'm looking at it and I feel like this will fill these 3 rows, but the last 4 eggs might not have enough. And that's just from like making these enough to know. And also, like I said, you can just do the math in your head based on what you added. So I'm gonna add probably, I'm gonna say another half tablespoon, just to be clear on having enough to go around, I guess I should say. Making sure that it's not too thick is the first thing, and then the second thing is making sure that you have enough to actually fill all of the eggs. And the more I added, honestly, it's just whipping. It's whipping more and more. So yeah, I'm not going to use the emulsifier. Also, a thing about the emulsifier when you're making deviled eggs, if you're making a shit ton of deviled eggs, then use an emulsifier. Honestly, if you're making a shit ton, use your KitchenAid mixer. But if you're just making a lot, like maybe like 2 dozen, use this. And then that way you'll be able to dig and kind of mix and dig at the same time. But if you are making a small amount like this, the amount of yolk that can get stuck on the inside times what can get stuck on the rim of the bowl is not worth it. And you'll end up losing like probably 2 eggs worth of yolk just trying to like scrape it off the bowl, scrape it out of here. So it's not worth it if you're making a small amount of eggs. I would just do it by hand. Like I said, start off with your yolk, only dry pan, dry bowl, and then you can go through and add the moist stuff after. So yeah, no emulsifier, I think we're good there. Do one last taste test. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it. Putting the mayonnaise back, putting the relish back, putting the mustard seed back. Or the ground mustard. I feel like this is one of those situations that you learn in life where you're just like, it's good enough and not worth messing up from there. Like, you know, when you're doing your makeup or something like eyeliner and you're like, oh, okay, this side looks like it matches this side, but this side's got like a tiny little thing. I'm gonna try and wipe it away, or I'm gonna try and like increase it, and then it messes up the whole thing. That's what I feel like is happening with this. Like, it's good, the consistency's good. I think I'm gonna have enough, but at the same time, the flavor feels like it could use like something a little bit more. And if I sit here and try to figure it out, it will take a long time. If I just start adding stuff in, it's gonna end up being overdone. So now I'm gonna do this. Oh no! I'm out of my my bigger sandwich bag. Do we even use this one? So basically, if you know what piping is, I'm going to be piping the eggs into this sandwich bag. They do sell like piping actual like equipment, right? Like the little nozzles and like all the wrapping and things that you can get to fit perfectly. But I like the idea of being able to just throw it all away at the end and not having like a bunch of like gadgets and stuff. So I use sandwich bags. And the hard part is not getting it along the rim, which is obviously why people use the equipment or tools that are best designed for piping, but Again, I just like being able to throw it all away. And if I do spill it on the bag, I can always put it back in the bowl and start over. Or if there's just a lot, like, you know, somewhere else, I can rinse it off. Again, still trying not to run the risk of losing yolk, because all of it is important. You don't run out. Okay. I think I pretty much got it. I just like to get the last little bit. So that's probably like a whole egg's worth right there. One thing I always make sure I do is I will wash my dishes before I'm done. So at the end of my cooking, I don't feel like overwhelmed with how much cleaning is left. Because if you notice just now, I just rinsed that bowl. It's not like super clean, but if you were to look at it, there's no egg yolk on it. It's completely wiped, washed off. So that's enough for me to look at it in the sink and be like, oh, it's fine. But if I look back at it at the end of this and it's all dried and crusty, and I can tell I'm gonna have to scrub it, it's stressful. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, I just rinsed it to make sure that there's nothing on the sides or anything like that. And then this is the part that people usually will buy the piping accessories for. So they can have like cool designs or like, you know, stars or certain circles or patterns, whatever, right? But these are deviled eggs that I'm going to be making for a family barbecue. And these people have known me since I was pooping on myself, so I feel like it's gonna be okay if they don't have like perfect piping lines. Just kind of make sure you get all the bubbles out of the top, because that's gonna be the hardest part to get later. Just start from the top down. Once you go from the bottom, it's really hard to bring things from the top down. So just bring it all down before you even start. Okay, and then I'm just gonna roll it to just make sure it doesn't slide back up. And then as I go, I'm gonna keep rolling it, but there it is. Just squeeze. I go into the middle and then pull up. Ugh. Right as I say that, I mess up. I go into the middle and I pull up. So it makes, honestly, it looks like the poop emoji. But I think that's what makes it look the cutest. Not like the total, like, tip, you know, I don't want it to have like the actual tip, like the poop emoji. But I do like for it to kind of like build up, you know. Like if you're at McDonald's, shoot, that one's covered. I might want to go back and fix that one. If you're at McDonald's, some people give you the ice cream and they like swirl it, and then other people let it like build up. I like the build up because there have been times where I've gotten the swirl, and when I go to get to the center of the swirl, it's like hollow. I'm like, bruh. I'm just going back and overfilling. You don't have to do this, obviously. Fill it as much as you want or don't want. But I feel like the filling is the best part. And so if I can add more of it, that's better than throwing it away. And then this is the part I usually do. I don't show anybody. But that ugly egg doesn't get completely discarded. It's over here, and I usually have some extra filling left. So then I eat one. Mm-hmm. So good. Okay. On to the next part. As the big streamers would say. Next segment. Next segment. Okay. That part is done. Tonight is trash night because tomorrow morning the garbage people come at like 7 a.m. Alright. So that's done. The whips are all in here. Like I said, I'm just basically making sure all of my dishes are rinsed. So I'm not super stressed at the end with like a bunch of cleaning. I can put this back because my eggs turned out pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I paused. I'm gonna have a Red Bull. I've decided it's gonna be a Red Bull. Okay. I forget what I was saying, but then I remembered that I didn't get my caffeine in. And I'm like kind of dragging ass. I got about 15 minutes. So it's 2:15-ish right now. My sister lives about 30-ish minutes away. So if I'm supposed to be there at 3, and she lives 30 minutes away, but it's a black family barbecue, what time do I need to be there? And better yet, what time do I need to leave? To be perfectly fair, I feel like showing up half an hour late is respectful. I feel like I would still be pretty early. But I don't like the idea of having not left my house when it's already supposed to have started. Right? Like someone call me and be like, where are you? I'm like, at home. And it's not like you can lie about it. Everybody knows your location. I do not know where my egg container is. Is it down here? I swear this is clean. It's just gonna sound like it's not, okay? Okay. So, like I said, I've been making eggs, and there's 3 tiers, but each of the tiers can fit the same lid. So that way, if you are traveling, you can hold it by the handle. If you have a big group, multiple eggs. And the thing about these are, you have to make sure that nobody steals your shit. Because whenever you go to like a barbecue or something where people are bringing their own dishes, I feel like it's really easy for people to be like, oh, just grab one of those, and then they will take your shit. And I feel like that sucks because some of us actually care about our containers. And by some of us, I mean me. I care about my containers. trying to figure out a better way to put these in here, but I recognize I'm just gonna have to take them right out again. So. And then also I made cupcakes last night, and I just found this like little cupcake container. So I think I might bring some cupcakes to the party as well, because I feel like cupcakes are always a nice little surprise. Alright, so these are the eggs. I'm going to put them in the freezer because they're supposed to be served cold. And if I leave here within the next hour, which is ideal, then they won't be frozen, they'll just be chilled. And just move. There it goes. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now that that's done cooking, still gonna put this lemon juice in, mustard away. I don't know why I have this there still. I was going to try and substitute my mayonnaise because I forgot that I bought a new one. I was all confused about it, but I didn't make that. Okay. The first things first, I need to see what candy actually fits in these things, because I don't think these lollies will. No, these won't fit. Will these fit? Nope. None of these lollies will fit, so I have to put these back. I have Halloween candy that I'm trying to get rid of because I didn't get any trick-or-treaters. But the only problem is I don't know what I want to give them to. They don't fit in these freaking eggs, which you know. I love lollies, but they're not the type of thing that I eat when I'm at home. And I feel like I'm always at home. So, I don't know. If you come over and you want a lolly, let me know. Okay, so there's 6 pieces of candy in this entire bag that I can use for this Easter egg hunt. What else do I have? Nothing. Nothing. Okay, do these fit in here? I swear I'm not this weak. Okay, do these fit? Okay, Reese's don't fit either. Which means the Kit Kats aren't gonna fit. Man, these kids are gonna get like a ton of freaking... Alright. Actually, no candy in here I can give them. I'm gonna have to grab it all one by one. But I do have it. That's no good. Yeah, unfortunately though, most of these candies are too freaking big. This is crazy. I'm having to give like Tootsie Rolls. A lemon fruit roll-up, is that good? That'd be so sad if I tried to put a lemon fruit roll-up. If I tried to put fruit roll-ups in here, it wouldn't even let me. That'd be the biggest kid cock block. No fruit roll-ups. Strawberry tie-dye. I actually got some good flavors. I don't know if I'm ready to part. I don't know if I'm ready to part with these flavors. What is this one? What flavor is this? Can't tell what flavor it is, so I'm gonna give it to the children. They can decide. We got some fruit snacks in here. Some more Airheads. We got Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Roll. I got High Chew. I got chocolate covered almonds. They're not ready for those. More candy, Sugar Baby, chocolate covered almonds. Man, I got Lindor's in here too. I wish I could show you my drawer, but it's another lemon fruit roulette. I don't know what flavor this is. It keeps popping up. I got a lot of good candies, I'm not gonna lie. Wow. I should check this out more often. I got Gushers in here. What else? Alright, I'm coming up there real soon. I got some gummy bears. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to part with the Gushers. I'm not gonna lie. Those are a little too sentimental. Now I feel kind of bad though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, somehow I have to get all this candy. Somehow I have to get all this candy over to this side. Okay, I do feel kind of bad, like I was gonna say, that I don't have enough space for cool candy. But also, I think I'm gonna share some of these with myself. Sometimes I find stuff in there and I'm like, ooh, I don't even know what that tastes like yet. These are like spicy watermelon mango candies. Like the Mexican candy section of the store. One. Two. Three. Try and put this in. I think it would help me to know what kind of candy's in all of these. You know? That way when I space them out, I'm not putting like two really good ones next to each other. So that whatever it is right there, looks like the really good one. Okay. So what did I put in there? These are Sugar Babies. I feel like this one's like gum. What's this one? This one's gum. So I'm gonna put gum in the orange ones. Gum. How many more gum? God damn. I'm out of gum as well. This is shameful. I got Kool-Aid gum. Will that fit in here? Oh my gosh, this is the cock block of the year. Let me see. Ain't this some shit? Okay, well that can't go in there either. So much for my gum theory. Let's do Sugar Babies in the yellow. At least I'll know it's yellow. That's the only one. There's Gummy Bears. These are the good ones too. The Haribo. Haribo. And if I can close it. Okay. Let me finish these pink ones. Let's see. Got pink Tootsies. Let's do purple high chews. That would be cute. Purple high chews. You can get purple. I think I might be able to do purple high chew in each. Do people normally put more than one thing inside of the eggs? Is that what people do? I've never stuffed eggs before. I feel like I always just used to make like Easter baskets. But I also feel like, when was the last time I did an Easter egg hunt? I don't remember how much candy was inside of the Easter eggs. I just remember being like, ooh, this is Japanese high chew though. Oh, are you serious? Damn, I just opened it. I don't even want this. What a waste. That sucks. I'm gonna show you this Japanese haichu. So basically, is that in front of you? I don't know if you can see it. Basically, this haichu is from Japan. I got a bunch of, I always get like international candies when I travel. But basically, I got these from my nephew, and I had a couple extra, and I don't like lime or green apple things. Lime is okay, green apple I don't eat, so this one is green apple. So always when I have it, I don't want to give it to somebody if it's been opened, even though it's my own family. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Okay, so let's see what else I got here. I got a Laffy Taffy in the pink one. Let's see, another Laffy Taffy in the pink one. Yeah, because I feel like if I tried to put two, I would have to put like two. I mean, I could do two Laffy Taffies, but I don't know. I don't even know how many kids are gonna be there. This is a lot of pressure. Okay, so I've got a gum in here. I've got two gums in here. So I'll try and put, oh, that was what I was doing. I tried to put gum inside of the orange and then I ran out of gum. Okay, so what else do I have? I've got Tootsie Rolls. Are Tootsie Rolls a good thing? Airheads, maybe? I feel like Airhead needs to go in the lemon. I don't know why I want to color coordinate these so bad. This is so wrong. I'm like, I need to color coordinate these. Okay, orange Tootsies. Two Tootsies in the orange. Boom. Orange Tootsies in the orange. Boom. Easy, easy, easy. Orange Tootsies in the orange. Easy, easy. Orange Airhead in the orange. Fire. Fire Airhead in the orange. Okay. Airhead in the orange. Perfect. And I've got Sugar Baby in this yellow one. I've got the Haribo Gummy Bears in that one. We're going to do Lemon Tootsie Rolls in this one. And let's do a lemon and a sour. There's like a bunch of these lemon ones. How many lemon ones do I have left? This is the most autistic Easter egg stuffing. Okay, so I've got lemon head. and a lemon Tootsie. And I've got a lemon head and a lemon Tootsie. And that's all the yellow. So now I really want to take these out. I'm going to put this as a lemon yellow and a lemon Tootsie. Perfect. And the Care Bears are the Haribo. Was the lemon and the lemon. Yeah, that's actually fire, because then if people see the lemon, the yellow, these are gonna be easiest to find, so they're gonna be lemons. Right? And then as things get a harder color, purple is gonna be the hardest to see. Maybe even green. Green might be hard to see as well. Or no, it's a bright green. Okay, so next green. Ooh, greens are fire though. What if these don't even fit? I'm done. I'm done. I'm trying to give these kids fruit roll-ups. This won't even let me. Wow, that's awful. I wonder if I could just poke a little hole in it. I've got it on videos, but look, you guys, I wanted to give you some good candy, but the only way I could is to make it a little creepy on you. I mean, they know it's from me. It's not like it's gonna be from somebody random. Okay, so I'm putting these Mott's fruit snacks inside the blue because they're all blue. Yeah. Mott's fruit snacks in the blue. There we go. One more. Okay, so I got fruit snacks and all the blue ones. Blue's gonna be the next prize. And then what do we have in the purple again? Oh, I was gonna try and do fruit roll-ups. Okay, so green, let's do these airheads in the green. I know I can fit at least one airhead in the greens. There we go. No. How many more airheads? White airhead. Got it. And then one more. I don't have any airheads. This should not be this hard. Well, I have 2 greens left. Okay. What was in there before? Airheads? Okay, so I'm gonna do a red and a blue sour punch in here. Maybe I have more sour punches. Now I'm like dead set on making these color coordinated. Okay. And I found another Japanese haiku. I'm afraid to mess it up. I'm finding a lot of green candies now. Okay, this has got to be plenty. So I've got another green airhead. I've got a green sour punches. There's 2 sour punches in here, and then 1 green airhead. I feel like you're supposed to have more in here. I think maybe, honestly, maybe I bought the wrong eggs. I've never bought, like I said, I've never done stuffing of eggs before, so I don't know what's normal. These just looked cute to me, and it was all the colors. I was like, perfect. What's in here? So I got a high chew, nothing, a high chew, and a high chew. Damn, let's see if I can find one more high chew, and it'll be the high chew eggs. Boom, easy. That was too easy. It was waiting for me on top. Okay, so all of these eggs get a high chew. Chew, chew, chew. All of these get a high chew. And then I should do one more something. Oh, these. Oh yeah, these are supposed to be the bonus babies. Because they're hard to see. Okay. So this is a high chew and a Haribo. Is that how you say it? Haribo gummy bears? Oh, blue is the fruit snacks. Okay, so this is the high chew and something. This is gonna be high chew and 2 sour punches. Is that good? No, I feel bad the lemon ones are just like literal lemons. I don't even remember what was in the pink ones. What was in the pink ones? Damn. Okay, so then these ones are going to be purple high chew and a watermelon airhead. Purple high chew with a watermelon airhead. And let's see what else. Purple high chew with resin. Purple high chew. Purple high chew and a sour punch. Okay, boom. I got it. All done. So my only thing now is I want to go back and see what I put in the pink ones. So I feel like I know what's in all the other ones, but I don't know what's in the pink. Okay, so what's inside of this one? A Laffy Taffy. Not bad. What's inside of this one? Just a gum. See, I could put something else in here. A gum and a Tootsie Roll. What's in this one? 2 Tootsie Rolls. These are pretty good. The Sugar Babies is a good one. I'm gonna leave this one in here. What's in this one? A Laffy Taffy, and let's do one of the Tootsie Rolls as well. And so we still got a Sugar Baby. I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's okay too. I really want to put chocolate in there, but I feel like nobody likes Lindor's. Like I feel like Lindor is like an adult chocolate. If that makes sense. I do have these chocolate covered almonds too, which I feel like kids are also not prepared for these days. Okay, I feel better about this now. These ones aren't very good, but they have more than one thing in them. This one kind of sucks. This is just 2 pieces of gum. Ooh, I could put one of these in here. See, I just don't think they would appreciate it. I'm gonna put some of the birthday cake Lindors in here. Little kids like birthday cake, right? Right? I'm gonna do a pink birthday cake in each of these. I'm not gonna lie. These are all orange. This is an orange. This is an orange. This is gonna be orange and an orange. Why am I like this? These kids aren't gonna give two fucks. Okay, I can do one Lindor, pink birthday cake Lindor, and a Laffy Taffy. Is this gonna crush it? Man, these eggs cock walk forever. Dang, I don't know if it's gonna work. Really don't. Okay, I got a Lindor and a Laffy Taffy. That's fire. Lindor and a Laffy Taffy? I would take that any day. Okay, Lindor, Laffy Taffy. Come on, you can get it. Lindor, Laffy Taffy. I have to like pack these a certain way. Just to get it to go. Don't bust open. That's what she said. Okay, so we got this one. I'm gonna dump it because that one doesn't really matter. Okay, so we got a pink one, pink Lindor, and a pink Starburst. Wow. I got two pink Sour Chews and a pink Lindor. I feel like now I want to keep some of these. This is getting a little ridiculous. Okay. So I've got, oh, that one's crushed for sure. I crushed that one. Damn. Alright, so I got Lindors in each of those. And what did I say was in the yellow? Ooh, the lemons. That's right. I did them dirty. Okay, so I'll do Sugar Baby in here. I'll do one more Lindor chocolate and I'll do this Tootsie Roll Chew in here. So there we go. All of the pink ones have a Lindor chocolate. I'm not giving out the hazelnut. Those are too good. So orange is all orangey candies. Orange is kind of weak. Orange is kind of weak. Tootsies for the orange. This one's, at least it's an Airhead. 2 Tootsies for the orange. This is a Tootsie and a sour Mexican candy. And then I'm gonna put Sugar Babies inside of this one. Is that good? What was in this one? Orange basic bitches. Okay, that's good. So yeah, the lemons are quite literally lemon. Everything in the lemon is candy that is lemon flavored. They're basic, not very good candies. I mean, nothing wrong with a lemon head and a lemon Tootsie Roll. They're just not like, you know. I guess they're classic candies. Okay. So now those are in there. Now I just need to do the green. The green Airhead's Fire. That's a good one. Let's see what's in here. Airhead Fire. What's in here? Airhead Fire. And what's in here? 2 Sour Ropes. Green Apple. And an Airhead Mystery Flavor. Fire as well. Green knows what to do. Okay, purple is the last one. Oh yeah, I did, all the blues are fruit snacks. Minus this one. This is my fruit snack. This is a fruit snack, this is a fruit snack. These are all fruit snacks. Oh, I love how they have a theme. It just makes my brain feel better. Okay, so I have a blue airhead I can put in here, or I have a sugar baby. What would you prefer? Did also do blue gum. What's in these? This is a gummy bear and that. I could set these up. Okay, blue airhead is fine. I'll also put in a blue raspberry Tootsie Roll. And this is a good one. This is the one with the gummy bears. And this one is a sour straw and a haichu. I think it's decent. Airhead and a haichu. That's good. Airhead and a haichu. Oops. Okay. And what's in here? Airhead and 2 sour ropes. What's in here? Yeah, honestly, I got these extra sugar babies. I don't know. I should just sprinkle it in there, but I'm not going to. Just to give you a little indicator of how much candy I have at all given times in my house. Okay, so those are the eggs. It is now 2:45, 2:46. Let me close this back somehow. Okay, so these are the eggs for Easter. I packed them all. You can see my process. A little bit how my brain works. So I've got eggs done, deviled eggs are done. This trash is pretty much ready to go. I have trash day tomorrow. I think I said that. Trash is very early in the morning. So the only thing I can really do is take it out before the morning. And normally I would take it out today around like 5 or 6. But I don't feel like getting all sweaty and going up and downstairs gathering all the trash from all the rooms. So yeah, I will do that when I get back. But even still, when I get back, I won't be able to stream. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. So yes, that was my getting ready with me Easter edition. Basically just showing you how I prepare a little appetizer for a family barbecue, or just any barbecue really, or it could be like anything really that deviled eggs could be at. And then I also stuffed these Easter eggs, so you guys got to see a little bit of my, what is this? My home life? A little bit of my home life, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of creativity, crafty. I mean, I didn't really make anything, but you can kind of see the way my brain is like, okay, we need to have flow in this. Like I said, a lot of it has to do with just like understanding why and how the eggs are going to be found. Because yeah, I feel like the yellow ones are like always the easiest ones to find. And the kids that find the hard ones deserve like the good prize, right? Like, we found that one, you deserve the whatever is in there. Although the pink ones do have the Lindor chocolates. Those are just gonna be special. Yeah, now I'm rambling. So it's Easter Sunday, or it is Monday already, where you are, I don't know. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the stream. That was it. I'll do a handstand or two real quick so you can just kind of see live how I have been practicing on this wall. And then, yeah, I'm only going to have a few minutes before I start heading out. Okay. gonna post something on my TikTok before I go to sleep tonight. It's just gonna be a check-in of obviously my handstand. So I've done a couple, but I'm trying to find a couple of methods or drills to practice so that I can kind of show the progress in those drills. Because right now I've been doing this one where I basically try to make sure that my leg is perpendicular to the wall, so that way when I go down, I know that my chest and my back are straight up and down. So I just kind of curve in like this and then push up. And it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. Like, I never really know exactly where I am, so I just kind of have to feel for it. And then when I feel comfortable enough, I try and bring both of my legs up. I'm not gonna lie, I never really feel like I can. I just do it anyway. And that time I just hopped down because if you look at my TikTok from yesterday, technically I posted it. Yeah, I posted it last night, but I don't think anybody saw it because I posted it like 11:55 p.m. because I almost forgot and I didn't want to miss the specific day. Like I said, I want to post every single day and not just make one every day, but like clearly post every day. But I hurt my foot. I didn't hurt it. I went to the dermatologist. They wanted to test something on my foot, and so I basically have like an open kind of cut on my toe, and because you have to use your toes to like walk and push off the ground and like land and everything, even though I'm not like in immediate pain, I didn't break something, it still hurts. The thought of hitting it makes me kind of like cringe and shudder. So like I'm afraid, like just now, like I said, I would normally go up and come down slower, but because I'm afraid it's gonna hurt, I am just coming straight down. In my video yesterday, I tried to kick up and I got scared. I came down anyway, and then when I came down, I hit my foot a second time. And it's funny because obviously I got it on video. It was not planned, but I think that that's also kind of part of the funny journey and like following the journey, being like, bro, I couldn't even kick up. But yeah, so I'm gonna do one more kicking up against the wall. Somebody said this in my TikTok as well. They're like, I always kick up towards the wall. That is a method you can do if you're like really trying to just like practice holding your weight, but it's not a good idea for form. And that's because when you're up, you kick up against the wall, you're more than likely gonna be in sort of like a kind of banana shape, and your body's gonna get used to leaning, and that's not gonna help you. So if you are doing a handstand, kick up against the wall, I want you to just think about, at least what I think about it, it's just a way for me to get comfortable being upside down, right? Because that's one of my issues. To feel comfortable upside down and to be able to hold my own weight for an extended period of time. I don't think of it as me balancing. That's like the last thing I want to think about, because I know that good form would not be me balancing that way, if that makes sense. So here I go. I'm doing that method. You gotta keep your arms locked out when you're in a handstand. So I try to go down with my arms locked out, and then I just kick like that. So here, I try to be a little bit further away from the wall because I know that my form will be better. I have to spread my hands out a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, hopefully you saw that. I got a little bit more float that way. One of the things that I've been looking at as far as drills go is being able to keep my ribs over my hips. So if you notice just now I had a little bit of float. I was focusing only on that. That's something I just saw / learned about yesterday. So I haven't really been doing any drills. That's what I want to start adding in this week. Like I said, every single day I will be making a post on my TikTok, and it will just be the progression of my handstand. It just says handstand check, day whatever, day 1, 2, 3. I think I'm on day 4 now. And that is because I'm working towards my handstand. You guys already know that. But I want to be able to show the progression, and I also want to keep myself on a schedule and not just, squeeze it in when I feel like I have time. It doesn't take any time for me to get up, do a handstand against the wall, right? It takes like 5 minutes. So that's what I'll be doing, posting 1 handstand a day on my TikTok until the wheels fall off. And yeah, happy Easter. I will be seeing you tomorrow at the same time, 3:30. And again, sorry that I will not be able to stream at 6 like I normally do today for Sunday stretching. It's just a little schedule mishap thing going on. So have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you tomorrow.